President of the Senate Akpabio and Speaker of the House of Reps Abbas. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, on Wednesday rejected claims that newly passed tax laws were altered after leaving the National Assembly, insisting that the versions signed into law fully reflect the resolutions reached by lawmakers. Akpabio addressed the controversy during plenary following concerns raised by Abdussamad Dakuku, a member of the House of Representatives, who alleged discrepancies between the tax reform bills approved by the legislature and copies later circulated publicly. Any document circulating outside the officially certified versions should be disregarded, as such materials do not represent the outcome of the National Assembly's legislative proceedings, Akpabio said. He maintained that the versions gazetted and assented to by President Bola Tinubu accurately capture deliberations and decisions of both chambers. I understand there is another version circulating, which was not in compliance with our votes and proceedings. There was no adulteration whatsoever in the final laws, he added. Akpabio explained that 4 tax-related acts had completed the full legislative process, received presidential assent, been gazetted, and certified by the Clerk to the National Assembly to avoid confusion. He stressed that the documents reflect resolutions reached during the harmonization process between the Senate and House of Representatives. To reinforce confidence in the legislative process, Akpabio directed the Clerk of the Senate to distribute certified copies to all senators, emphasizing that the documents should not be issued through unofficial channels. So every senator is expected to go home with one today, he said, adding that absent senators would receive their copies directly. He cautioned that the documents must only be issued by the Clerk to prevent speculation and misinformation. The final texts incorporate proceedings from both chambers, including the outcomes of the Harmonization Committee, before receiving presidential assent, Akpabio noted. Meanwhile, the Senate postponed consideration of the report from its Committee on Electoral Matters to allow lawmakers more time to review the document. Senate Leader Opeyemi Bamidele said the delay was partly due to the absence of the committee's chairman, Senator Simon Lalong. Backing the decision, Akpabio said the upper chamber would prioritize thoroughness over speed in its work. We don't need to rush the report, he said, stressing that the Senate would ensure due process and fairness in its deliberations.